Hi guys, sorry for such a long break and welcome to Two Cents Babe. I'm Abby and
I'm Komal. It's been a while.
yeah, this one was getting married.
I was getting married and also wanted to take a break from all kinds of work.
Yeah, happy Ramadan. How's Ramadan going for you?
It's going really well. It's easy. It's just me and my husband.
Nice.
Yeah.
How do you feel like your friendships have shifted ever since you've gotten married?
Uh, Not a lot. Like they don't look different. They also don't feel different. It's just that, and not because I have a lot to do at home domestically, and I just got married. So
Yeah.
I do feel like I do want to spend most of my spare time with my husband,
Yeah, that makes
especially
sense.
because he's at work all day. So us capacity mein, like I don't see my friends a lot as I used to before I was married.
Yeah.
But
You don't
not
think it's
much
that
as
different?
not really.
Okay.
Like how much did we meet before that even?
Oh, I
You
get
know,
it, huh?
so it doesn't feel different.
Yeah. But like, okay, since you're married now, I think you can give some good insight on this. Like, how important is it that your partner is similar to your friends as well, basically? Do you think it's really important? Do you think it can work if your partner is a different sort of person than what your friends are? You know what I mean?
No, this is what I keep telling everyone now. Your partner should be more or less like you.
Okay.
And they go like eventually we're at that age where we hang out with people that are like us, like-minded people whose scores are like us or who frequencies we like match. But your partner should absolutely be on that frequency.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I feel like mismatch है अच्छा खासा mismatch है if you come from different lifestyles, if you come from different social circles, backgrounds, it's definitely really different.
But I feel like, see, like I was thinking, कि अब in a partnership now, like, do you think हर चीज तो आपको एक पर्सन से नहीं मिल सकती ना अब फॉर एग्जांपल लाइक the expectations I may from have a partner, like may have from a partner, I might not have from a friend.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
उसी तरह, like I don't need my friends to be providers.
Yeah.
But like I might need my partner to be a
Yeah.
provider.
Yes and no, like exactly. I do want that as well. You need
Yeah.
your partner to be a provider. You need your partner to be a yes man, essentially.
Yeah.
But also, like, you do need someone who will challenge you in a way where, like, make you want to be a better person, make you want to do better in life. Like, and I think the same goes for our partners. Like, I feel like, especially the kind of people we are, this is what Abdullah and I were talking about yesterday. He said that you challenge me, and I was like, explain that. He's like, you make me want to do better for you, for me, for the people around me. And there are a lot of women that are submissive. There are a lot of women who are, oh, yes, whatever you say. But there's also people like us who will put our foot down.
And like offer some sort of guidance, basically. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I feel like
Hold that thought.
Yeah.
I have to tell if that. Be right. Yes, तुम constitution के आगे से आओ.
I feel like with your friends,
Hmm.
like there's still a layer of like formal, you know what I mean? Because they have their separate goals, you have your separate goals. So with a partner, like अब आपके जो है ना growth के लिए भी ideas बहुत like different होंगे और वो बहुत minute चीजें के अंदर होंगी. You know what I mean? Like you're not gonna give a like rat's ass about like how my cleanliness basically or how like well managed I am basically. You know what I mean? For me it might be like, oh, choose better for yourself, blah 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 blah. लेकिन partners के साथ ना like different होते हैं कि आप थोड़ा सा माइक्रो मैनेज आपको चीजें थोड़ी सी ज्यादा करनी पड़ती हैं,
बात वही होती है, conversation different होती है.
हाँ,
Like for you also, I would like for you to be clean and whatever, but how it's spoken is going to be different.
And how it impacts you is also
Yeah.
different, no?
Yeah, because if you're living with someone, obviously it's different.
Yeah.
But no, honestly, yes. Like I feel like your partner should be your best friend. You should find a friend within them. It's very very important to have a partner who's exactly like not exactly like your friends, but can fit into your social circle, your sort of environment.
Yeah, 100%. It makes
Yeah.
your life easier.
Yeah.
I think अगर वो चीज़ ना हो ना, then you become really isolated. Like you eventually stop having an external life. Again, if like your relationship is so much in focus that like it needs so much working on to do, like that eventually you don't have energy for other things, you know what I mean? Or if it's so different and it
Yeah.
needs you to be so different, then eventually you do end up cutting yourself off, you know what I mean?
हाँ लेकिन देखो like living in a country like Pakistan, I've had partners before who did not accept that I am a dancer or I am like I have a public social media account or whatever. And even when Abdullah and I were getting married, my inbox was exploding with things like, is he a dancer too? Does he allow you to like whatever? Like, you know, and I was like, this is what people need to understand. Like, if you don't want to marry a dancer, don't date
Don't
her.
date her.
If you don't want to marry a certain like whatever profession, if you don't want to marry a certain, आपका जो बॉक्स होता है ना, आप उसी बॉक्स में ढूंढो अपना पार्टनर.
Like I feel like people really don't see this, like, you know, for example, with men will date trans people, but
हाँ.
like, you know, they will never be able to introduce them to their family,
Yeah,
you know.
exactly.
So do you not respect the person, or do you not respect what your own limitations are?
Yeah.
That's something I never
Yeah.
understand.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like, the fact that, like, you know, you don't respect, how can you ever respect somebody else when you can't even respect, like, okay, what you want to put out in life and then what you're actually doing, you know what I mean?
But in some cases, I feel like for men, it's different. Maybe they do want to take her home. Maybe they do want to marry whoever they want to marry. But they social norms or social standing को भी देखना होता है. They know that, for example, छोटी सी बात है, बहुत basic बात है, common भी है. Shia Sunni people, they don't necessarily like to date or marry outside of their caste.
Yeah.
You know. Why? Because उनको socially थोड़ा सा वो struggle करना पड़ेगा, family के साथ struggle करना पड़ेगा, how like explaining to their future kids, to their wives, कि आपका क्या scene है.
But then don't you think these things, like, then don't get into the relationships, you know?
Yeah, na?
It's fine to not
Yeah.
want to do something,
Yeah.
but I feel like then don't do it.
Yes,
You
यही
know?
मैं बात कर रही
Yeah.
हूँ. Don't like date and don't marry outside of your situation.
Yeah. Basically, don't. This is what I mean. Like, I mean, I feel like a lot of people are looking for instant gratification.
Yeah.
So they are giving time to things that they can't actually uphold.
Yeah.
And you're wasting the other person's time. You're wasting your own time.
Yeah.
And it's just an inconvenient situation.
Yeah.
Like sometimes, like even if you do want to, like, you know, you do are really fascinated by somebody or really attracted to them or whatever it is, but if you can, especially if it's a person who's coming to you and being like, oh, I want a full-on partnership, I
Yeah.
want to commit and I want to build a life together, do not get swayed along because of fascination with people who are looking for something more sustainable.
I agree.
You know what I mean?
Yes, 100%.
And people like make up all sorts of excuses,
Yeah.
like, oh, like I couldn't help myself, or like I
Yeah.
really wanted to.
Yeah.
But it can't just be about what you want. It also needs to be about what you're actually willing to do and what you're going to do. And have a real conversation with yourself about that before you're making promises or before you're extending yourself to
Yeah.
opportunities.
No, but this is true. Like, this reminds me that, and I had like put this in a box and stored it away, that most of the guys that I were dating, they were dating me because they wanted to like sort of break that independence, break who I am as a person. And eventually, like, I would break up with them because, oh, you need to stop doing this and this and this, and like, you know, ये भी नहीं करना, ऐसे कपड़े नहीं पहनने, blah blah blah. So then why be with someone like me? I feel like these people, they need a sort of challenge and they want to break you.
I think that's also a thing, but again, it comes from like, I feel like, you know, it's confusion. You think you want one thing, but you're getting fascinated by the other. And this all comes from not being connected within yourself.
Yeah.
Like, either figure out why you want to be with a person who's more out there, who's more liberated than you are, who's more free in their expression. Is it because, like, why? Like, I feel like I can sit down, for example, if I'm with somebody who loves to party, you know what I mean? I'm not going to sit over here and be like, oh, why are you partying? I'm going to question myself, why am I doing this? Do I want to be partying? Am I insecure?
Yeah.
Am I like doing this out of attachment? At the end of the day, people don't question themselves, especially men. They do not question themselves. You know what I mean?
They really don't. But I feel like when you meet someone new, you should have a list of questions that you need to ask your partner. Are you like this? Are you like that? Can you like deal with this? And if they don't match your sort of criteria, and if they don't fall onto your list, don't take them. Don't seek them out. Move on to the next person. There are plenty of people out there who will be exactly like you, who will accept you for who you are. And I feel like हम लोग थोड़ा सा self inflicted भी ये करते हैं, that we tend to stay with people who don't want us, because
Yeah.
we're like, oh my god, challenge accepted, you know.
Yeah,
You
like
turn
I'm
it
going to
into a
make you want me,
हाँ,
basically.
you turn it into a project, like, you know, like, am I not good enough for you? वो आपको validation भी फिर वो मिल रही होती है उस बंदे से in doses. But yeah, I think like bottom line is it's best to date within your sort of like frequency.
And date somebody who's loud and proud about you.
Yeah.
I feel like that is such a good signal.
Yeah.
Because there's such a nonchalance in the dating scene.
Yeah.
And you know, the freaky thing is, when a man is down to be secretive with you, when a man is down to keep you on the down low, they will put you through hell.
Yeah.
Like, for example, look at, like, you know, the whole Jeffrey Epstein thing that's going on. Like, now it's coming out, but why do you think, like, you know, it was hidden for so long? Because, like, and why do you think these people were so comfortable doing, like, these things with children, or like underage girls, or like even if they're not underage, like girls who are in their 20s? You're a millionaire. Imagine a girl who's going to even university, and you know, she's getting in depth about it, basically, you know what I mean? But and then a millionaire who's like surrounded by presidents and stuff like that. No matter what your age is, there is a like imbalance of power there, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there were so many systems that were protecting these men, basically, that were allowing them secrecy, and like money was allowing them access to like whether you call it like real estate to like do these things on, or like, you know, whatever it may be. If, and this is a lot to do with secrecy as well, like, you know, this is something I realized that within myself, like when I wasn't open about what I was, especially in romantic relationships, when I wasn't open with my family, with my friends about what I was doing. Friends, I've always been open, but until I wasn't open about my romantic life with my family, there was so much disrespect I was willing to accept, and there was so many like things I wouldn't be willing to do now. You know what I mean? Just because it's an actual part of my public identity. You know what I mean? I have different standards for myself.
देखो secrecy की जहाँ तक बात है with the Epstein thing, I feel like it's, and I think it's also like because advancement in technology and whatnot, and this calling out culture and this Me Too movement and all of that, whatever happened is how people were brave enough, or were like finally had the courage to speak up about the bullshit that went down there. But the need for secrecy is when you are ashamed. देखो bottom line क्या होती है? Shame होती है. People hide you because they're ashamed. People wanna like keep you a secret. Whatever these motherfuckers did, like all these people with money, they were still ashamed of what they were doing. Agar if this was something like normalized or okay, they'd be doing it publicly.
And the shame isn't about who or you're doing it with. It's about your desire.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
It's because you don't want the world to know what kind of monster you are, because they know this is wrong, and they will still go ahead with it. This is how, and it equates to a lot of like brown men. Like they, in their head, maybe they think that something is wrong and it's not right for them, it's not good for them. They will still do it, but keep you a secret because they're ashamed of it.
I was watching this like other channel, and there's this girl, Brittany Simon, she does like philosophy videos, and she was talking about this, and she was saying like, you know, we can sit over here in Pakistan and be like, oh, but that's happening in America. But like just a few years ago, Imran Khan made a speech about like what do you call it? He was talking about rape cases in Pakistan, and basically it wasn't a systematic thing, it wasn't an ideological thing. He blamed women and their clothes. He said like, you know, men aren't robots. You know what I mean? And that's not taking a jab at anybody, but I'm saying these systems exist everywhere. And you can't even necessarily blame men, because like in a patriarchal world, they as babies, they come up into this world. You know what I mean? Everybody was a baby. Even like, you know, the worst man was a child at some point. You know, he was socialized into this behavior. But I'm never fascinated by these things. I'm never shocked by these things, because we have pedophiles in our family and they're invited to dinners. How can you like expect people in power not to be doing this when we brush it under the rug? Pedophilia is so common. You know what I mean? Hamare gaon mein there's like 10 like house help that are probably lingering around that I know are pedos.
Yeah.
And like nobody talks about it.
You know, when you have family members who have like touched you or molested you when you were a child, and if you had the courage to go up to your parents and tell them about it, they would keep it hushed up too. Like if my child was walking up to me telling me something, I would banish that person forever. I would tell them to their face, and I would tell everyone in the family to avoid this person. But I feel like that it has a lot to do with the generation of our parents. You know, they kept abhi bhi, and you've had conversations with my mom where she's been like, "Oh, you know about something that we talk about like
Normally, yeah.
yeah."
Casually.
But for our parents, for that generation, to be this vocal about every topic, every issue, especially like things to do with, you know, sexuality and sex and rape and all of that, it's not okay for them.
I know, like it's literally shunned, and I feel like kabhi bhi na, the world isn't going to change unless we do.
Yeah.
Like change isn't going to happen from asking the most powerful man in the world to be different. Change is going to come when you start dictating your own households.
But तुम देखो, even in the world, masses आपकी कौन है? Religious people, conservatives, you know, like people one way or the other. बहुत कम लोग हैं जो मर्दों की बात कर रहे हो. There are not a lot of men who are non-judgy. Most men have this Imran Khan personality. That men are not. There's a video that like was circulating on the internet about this like one word. They were asking these like men in Lahore, why do you think rapes happen? And they're like, जी बस औरतें जब निकलती हैं बाहर तो जाहिर है मर्द उनको करेंगे. जी औरतें इस तरह के कपड़े पहन रही हैं, जाहिर है हम करेंगे. So these men think that women are dressed a certain way, or if they're stepping outside of their homes, they are inviting men in to rape them and touch them.
But
most men think like that. I'm telling you.
The thing is, right, it's just sad because, like, you know, I'm not completely against conservatism. I don't have a thing against modesty. Like, you know, I love modesty and all of that. Lekin, you know, and this is coming from a person, even when I have been abused now or like shit has gone down with me, even at the age of like 13 when I put myself in like dangerous situations. Do you see the word? Put myself in dangerous situations.
Yeah.
So I always understand, okay, like somewhat it is your responsibility.
Yeah.
But on a systematical level, it is not your responsibility. You know, if on a systematical level, people are sitting in power and talking about the fact that the person who's being oppressed, the person who's being abused is a problem, you are bypassing that. You are creating the ideology. Yes, everybody should understand, like, I have to save myself. I have to, like, make sure that I don't attract, like, the wrong sort of attention, whatever. That is definitely on you as well. But that is not the systematical problem
but
here.
देखो, this is like, but there are children who are getting raped.
Yeah.
आपके घर में हो रहा है. You don't even need to step out of the house to like invite that sort of. अगर आप ये बैठ के कह रहे हो ना कि it's my of course it is our responsibility to not be in certain situations. But if it's happening at home, if it's happening to kids who don't have a voice, if it's happening to like animals, like there's
this is
no.
what I'm saying. Like the issue is like even if it is like the person's responsibility to protect themselves, that is not the cause of it.
Yeah, of
because
course
the
not.
cause is systematic.
Yeah.
The cause is people in power and their ideologies and what is being promoted basically.
देखो, like it's not just the people in power. I feel like there's जो ये गली मोहल्लों में होते हैं, these men and these you know religious sort of like extremists, जब ये हरकतें करते हैं, do you think they're actually in power?
I mean, they're in power. अब देखो, child who is talking about somebody older, even if they don't have a lot of money, they are empowered in years. You know what I mean?
100%.
Somebody who's abused is going towards the community for help.
Yeah.
That person is single. They're going towards the community. They're going towards the police station. That police station is empowered.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, I feel like there needs to be softness and there needs to be understanding and there needs to be like, you need to understand it's disgusting.
Honey, but most people in the world are like Jeffrey Epstein. You know why?
That's true.
Like there was कोई post में पढ़ रही थी, apparently, especially बल्कि brown men have been like romanticizing and fantasizing all of that. They were like, oh जी बड़ी वैसे बाकी सारी चीजें एक जगह जेफरी ने तो बड़ी याशी की है, उसके तो बड़े मजे हुए हैं.
this is like the world we live in. It's
Yeah.
what's module to men, you know?
Yeah.
This is the idea of power.
Just a second.
She's a busy girl.
Hello.
हाँ ये
है लाइक अगर लेफ्ट साइड पे दीवार के साथ जगह है.
But the world is disgusting. We'll talk more about it next time. Right now we have to go. But
Yeah.
like just wanted to catch up and we'll get back onto a filming schedule soon.
Yeah.
And we'll see you soon. Thanks
See
for
ya.
watching. Bye.
हमने तो उसके कॉन्वर्सेशन के बीच में खत्म कर दिया.
It's fine.